Hi folks, welcome to the next video. Here I'm going to be talking about something very, very interesting. What is discipline? Now, a lot of people say you need discipline to study and you need discipline to, keep yourself together and you need to have discipline. And they associate that with torturing oneself in order to accomplish some goal. Right? Now, this couldn't be more weird to me, as I've always had the luck, the good fortune to have good people around me and to, teach me what exactly that meant, the word discipline. Now, discipline comes from the tradition or the meaning, the word, of being a disciple. Okay? A discipline is a study of something. It's not a torture to get you to do something. It's a discipline is like the study of martial arts or the study of mathematics or the study of whatever, music, drumming, guitar, whatever. That's a discipline. To be a disciple, okay, is something very interesting. Now, there are connotations to the whole thing, like the religious connotations, the disciples of Christ, disciple of Buddha or whatever. So that maybe helps you get like a better idea of that word, So if you are a disciple of drumming, it just means you're a student of drumming. And discipline is the discipline of the study of drums. Okay? So, how does this relate to us and how can this help us in our drumming? It's important to realize, you guys, it's really important to realize that in places of deep drumming traditions, that lineage, okay, is super important. I've heard of drummers in Africa saying, I am a student of so-and-so who's just the graduate, the student of so-and-so. And these are lineages, okay? These are disciples of this guy and that guy and that guy, okay? In India, it's kind of the same thing. Now, you guys have to really be aware of this. In India, percussion is a very, very beautiful, serious thing. It's not taken lightly like in the West, oh, you're a drummer, yeah, blah, blah, whatever. Okay? In India, there are guys that reach very revered positions in society. Some even may have the title of prince, right? So in India, you are coming from a family of percussion lineages. You are whatever, prince, this or that, coming from this school, who is coming from this guy, and blah, blah, blah. It's like a serious lineage, okay, which is an incredible, beautiful thing for a drummer, to be a part of. To be a disciple, okay, is something very deep, honorable, respectful, and something that comes from a very, very, passionate tradition of drumming. We've lost like this connection with this whole thing in the West, you're not like revered, just some guy who bought a drum set or whatever. Unless you become super famous, then, you start to be more revered. But that's not great, in my opinion, because what happens is you have this culture of almost disrespect for the art form, and this complete lack of mentorship leaves many people, sadly, without a deep appreciation for what the art form of drumming is and what it can do for you in your life. It becomes like this superficial blah blah thing where you can maybe get girls or or, you know, I'm playing a band or whatever, be rich. Very rarely does that happen, but it becomes something else. It's not what it truly is when you don't have a discipline. Okay? Now, the word discipline, it starts to become much deeper, right, than what you initially may have thought about. A discipline, the deep study of something. The religious connotations, you know, kind of take shape, take form in this as you become this other person that what you started out as, you know. It starts to affect your mind. The deep study of rhythm starts to affect your mind. And that's why in Cuba, for example, there are, you know, the santeros and all this other stuff that is really associated with a deep study and, you know, culture, a religion, let's say. And in India, it's kind of the same thing. And in Africa, it's the same thing. That's why we have, you know, in the past, witch doctors and all kinds of stuff like that use drumming and music, let's say, in order to heal and all that stuff. So, you know, it's a very, very tight-knit thing with drumming, especially the word discipline, okay? Remember, discipline is the deep study of something. To be a disciple is to be a student of that thing, not necessarily a person. Okay? To be a disciple is something that you should always want to keep going. It should never end. Okay? This is important because when you face, you know, the real world, you're going to face the most brutally superficial garbage, you know, in contrast to what you want to do as a musician. Even if it's in a genre that is inherently superficial, okay? You still have a soul, you're still a human being. You need something to combat that whole aspect of music, the music business. And I think having a discipline is the most beautiful thing, a most beautiful thing. The respect for drumming, the respect for the art form, the respect that you gain for yourself as a result of the study, and the transformation that takes place within you is something amazing, just amazing. Now, how does that transformation take place? You know, what does it consist of? When you study rhythm, for example, you start to understand so many things about mathematics, about the universe, about color theory, like colors and music, and you know, it just goes on and on. It's like this incredible input of information, things that are not seen in ordinary life, you know, things that affect you without you being aware. You know, all these things are the mysterious, the beautiful, the mystery, the part of life that is not touchable with, you know, it's not like you can't touch it, you can't, but it is absolutely in control of everything. That's why many shamans, you know, witch doctors or whatever you want to call it, have this special position of healing in a certain community, you know, and that's why drumming is so adapted to music therapy and things like that. It's very, very interesting. Now, my task for you in this talk about discipline, being a disciple, is to become a witch doctor. Your task is to become a witch doctor, okay? Now, not in the sense of, you know, weird black magic or whatever, you know. There's lots of weirdness, you know, in this area too. If you get into certain cultures, they take this stuff very seriously. You know, if you say you're a witch doctor in certain cultures, there are people like, oh man, ugh. You know, they get scared or they treat you different, or they avoid you, or they want something from you, which is another thing very interesting. You have to be careful, but my task for you is to be a witch doctor in the sense that you are a seer. You are someone that can see beyond the mere physical. And that is what's going to bring you into deep musicianship. Don't be a clone, all right? Don't be a clone of another guy. That's not being a disciple. That's being a clone. Very, very, very different, okay? Now, another thing that has a great benefit about these thoughts like this is that when you approach your practicing, it's not a torture. Okay, I see a lot of guys, oh man, I gotta practice, and they, first of all, they don't know how to practice, or they feel tortured by the act of practicing. The solitude was another thing, can't take the solitude, being locked up in a room hours and hours and hours, and weeks and months and years, so it like alleviates the thoughts that might come into your mind that distract you from the goal you have. By being aware of the depth of what you're doing, the time passes like nothing. Of course, having a proper plan, practice plan, long-term, short-term, and how to execute every day, those things are super important. But the main thing I want to get across is that a discipline is the deep study of something. A disciple is one that studies that, okay? So, be a disciple, have love for the discipline, and you're going to be all right, okay? That said, if you want to join my lesson site, only $200 a year for the entire year gets you the massive lesson library that is on there. Plus, it gets you me. I'm there for you, support you on email, Skype, WhatsApp, and it's a beautiful thing to be on the site because we have so many styles, so many genres. It's a very, very beautiful lesson site. I'm very proud of it, and I hope you will come by and check it out. Okay, if you have any questions, you can contact me on WhatsApp, leaving the number here in the description. And yeah, like that. Okay, my friends, peace out.